for stopping and letting me talk. This is going to be a very interesting poetry evening. I am convinced. I met Ellie before the first time in my life. We were standing there in the cafe, and it took about, I think, a minute and a half, and we were deep in a discussion about everything, about history, about language, about poetry. So I cannot imagine otherwise than this will be very interesting. I have here, Eli is a musician and an author, and probably a lot of things more that you will discover yourself tonight. And I have here one of his two books, Purple Harmattan. You can buy this here. He brought some copies. There is another, Heart's Quests, which is not here, but probably if you ask him, you will find out how you can get it. And yes, actually, that's more or less all I wanted to tell you before, because everything else he's going to tell you.
So let me just introduce my band members before we start. I think it's good courtesy to do that. We have Dennis on the trumpet, and Dixon on the percussion. We have Aaron on the keyboard, Mr. Bachuari, Andy on the lead guitar, and then Joe on the bass. This is like, you have good vibration for what I want to communicate, like in this session. So I might read two of them, but the rest would come as performance. And along the way, I'll do my first three pieces, and then my brother, Paul God, whom I perform with, I do stuff with like since last year. We've been having sessions together. So he's a rapper and a producer, and he's going to do his bit of it, and I come in and we finish the session. It's also going to be interactive. So open up your hearts, your minds, so the creative force can lead us all for a successful evening. Just vibes, good vibes. So the first piece I'll be doing is called Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart. If you can feel your heartbeat, it's sacred. Are you here? I can't feel you. I can't feel your presence. I want to feel you. Let's go. Nothing to be scared of. Just be in a moment. I want to feel you, your presence. This is that kind of session that you get to feel me, I get to feel you. So it's an exchange. I'm not just going to give and you will receive. It's a call and a response. So open up, nothing to fear. You can close your eyes if you want to. You can open it if you want to. But be here. To be cherished or not makes no sense to me than to be loved. To be cherished or not makes no sense to me than to be loved. For love, it's like opening the knob to the door of a room quietly filled with light, glowing light. And a cherish, like a cherry, could be picked by just anyone, even a passerby. I have no time for the fancy feints of cherished delights, nor a saint of cherry for the fame of faint, but for love, of bold and brave rewards. To be cherished or not makes no sense to me than to be loved. For love is like opening the knob to the door of a room quietly filled with light, glowing light. And a cherish, like a cherry, could be picked by just anyone, even a passerby, I have no time for the fancy feints of cherished delights, nor saint of cherry for the fame of faint. But for love of bold and brave rewards, Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart. Come back, oh. I didn't say go far. The piece is done. Come back. Sacred Heart. You people talk about hell, scared of dying because you might go to hell. The programming got you, and your mind swayed by the church. Of course, judgment will begin in the house of the Lord, and with it, the initiations of the heart. God might come out of the Pandora's box. I'm here in flames, my eyes red like coals, burning to show you the fires I'm taming and tending on the inside. But you are blind and scared of the secret, and your will is willing. And your will is willing. I'm in purgatory, pageant for the divine. Violet fire blazing, violet fire blazing, violet fire blazing. I'm in the book of Revelations, opening the leaves of my heart, digging depth with prayer. Rosary to erase death, raise the mother light. Hail Mary, Black Madonna. Raise and nurture me in your arms of care, your heart a tenfold blinding light. Bonding me to the Christ I see, keeping me secured so I may with your heart erase the gloom that's hanged over this nation too long, like a clot of cloud. Its density is leading God's children as they misquote misdeeds as triumph. Let me in your heart, your arms of care, that I may curl like the epistles of the God of poetry. I may with rain bring fertility to those who seek the path. Let me be the healing in action, that as I walk this path, my sweat may bring in blissful restoration. And to those who misunderstand me, let your heart be yes too. We are so pure, we worship and sing. To be or not to be in the world and yet not of it, to be a gentleman of chaos. Simple statement I made, and yet some say in dismay. It is deep. Yet I've been buried in these currents, drowned and been out of body near death, shuffling through walls, wrestling to hold their knots together. This is the life I've been given. This is the life I've been given. The people say I am deep. I am deep, I am deep, I am deep. And yet when I tell them I am the God of poetry, they shout, blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. Because I am not a false prophet. Drowning and dying is painful when you struggle. And so I bury my resistance for the current. I give it all, seeking nothing, but just being the God of poetry. Drowning and dying is painful when you struggle. And so I bury my resistance for the current. I give it all, seeking nothing, but just be the God of poetry. Keep out the flame. So, Paul God comes on.
I go by the name of Paul God, an artist and a record producer. And I'm here to do something special for you. Enjoy it. My true life reminiscing, my heartbeat bit addictive. Love got me missing the true life. Before I came to this place called Earth, I witnessed screaming out the true me. Before I was birthed, my mandate, humanity, the welcome to Dawn Age. The solving perfections, the comfort, the carnage. My mind state, a suitcase, business on a paper chase. Poverty was suicidal, was the highest murder rate. Cash rules, cash they got. God by their pockets would just rob them for it. Slavery deception was just nominated. The governor of my state and heartbreak staring at the mirror reflecting him. But not great, open my eyes at the moment. Couldn't help the presence of the beauty of the voice called the true me. I felt much stronger than she knew me. A sensation of legion deep inside she. I was wondering what could I be. I met this lady called Divine. Perfection flooded the rise beyond perfection. Was nothing like a blessing from the skies but intervention. Divine intersecting. Eternally nothing like future present. Gifted immortally strengthened. Met this lady called Divine. Perfection flooded the rise beyond perfection. Was nothing like a blessing from the skies but intervention. Divine intersecting. Eternally nothing like future present. Gifted immortally strengthened. Word to the divine. Word to the divine. It's 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 word to the divine. dreams perfect, you I relate to, and the one I could replace. So I imagine my passion, staring right back in your face. Spoken words, but images. We was just the two of us. Buy me an option. Trigger a bullet, shot high to God we trust. Not enough to rob the tears of a facial. Heavenly days I embrace you. So now the time I remember. Eternal ways up in a place. Far away from there. By here my ears position, my eyes possession, my heart bleed weapon grab and say, you got my arms open, you blow up my mind. Windpipes, extra O's blowing the climate. Nothing violent by talent. Bullets was copulous, shows dabbling shit into the peak of a hard desire, man. In the state of generations, the carrot of bosom. Piercing the lips against stardom. Stevie's eyes did want the kind of keys his fingers did onto. Karma reverses character. Fate walk too young to grow in us. My heart is 7 figures. You perfect with dread, just let us by. Word to the divine. It's word to the divine. Yeah. It's word to the divine. 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 Word to the divine. It's 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 word to the divine.
Word to the divine.
Divine. Thank you. Okay, so the next piece is Soul, and it talks about the relationship between ourselves and our inner self, our true self. Thank you. Take a second, I could close my eyes and still picture you clearly and emphasize this. You know that I could frame you bigger than it, and anything me one think is more relevant. So hey, but anyways, I told you on the streets of love and pain, could I still hold you? Would I promise to be the man I'm supposed to? Road to riches and diamond brings me closer. Nobody could ever replace you. Tears fall on my facial as I reminisce on how I relate to you. But I got to pack big things in the better days. Notorious I is, and I've been afraid. I think of you, I think of you. I think of you. My inner self, yo. I think of you. I think of you. I think of you. So. I know you spark my soul. I know you spark my soul. I know you spark my soul. How do I feel like it's better still? My future in the past like Hollywood. Camera action and not a real living this life in this dream world. Reality beyond imagination. Feel that it's nothing, but this is real, girl, and nobody else. Deep inside of me, eternally expressing words verbally. And not for more would rather be than the perfect me loving you. Love is blind with deceit. All the pain that the rain that wash away reluctantly. And baby, we still here. And love is blinded, our emotions can see clear. And you know we're perfect, plan is delivering. Nobody understands the crippling fact. Love's up in the lies, but hey, baby, I can still hear my mandate, sick beat in your heart. And all right from the start, on calling this hospitalized. I'm paralyzed to stand a chance to realize that, baby, you the one for me. I know you spark my soul. 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 Thank you. So my next piece is titled Mama, and I wrote this song for my mother. She's such a wonderful person, and this is for her. Thank you. Best for me, so I shut down the vision blurry. I'm ever ready to charge beyond imagination. Calculating time, working math in eternity. Just orchestrating my life, musical, no time for playback. Frame me a perfect picture. My life a treasure, deep thoughts I think that my mind. Grief and bleeding, gotta get my heart back. Instead to place a needle in my vein and connected to my heart strap. He said, son, I curse you, never ever pull back. For if you did, I never outbreak through man on earth past. For within you is the glory of me. The pain you unleash, the fire out your cool over addiction you free. I lived on earth's surface and through your eyes a vision, a mission insist in the hands of time be reaching generation. Your son, divine favor, preserve God through your pain and your pleasure will stick labor. Dry your tear when the rains and pours, in and out the clock ticking, I'ma love you the more. Your son, divine favor, preserve God through your pain and your pleasure will stick labor. Mama, dry your tear when the rains and pours, in and out the clock ticking, I'ma love you the more. She's like a diamond, a form of wood, never ever have, never sell her out to life. They stab nobody but you, mama, who could take a million shots on their behalf and could take out a heart for they to live in their regard from bad to worse. Don't rehearse verses, you reverse curses. Skeletons and persons, emerging nurses, who can nurses and surgeons. I pray instinct shrinks on emotion, methodically. Frontline and lyrics soar immortally. Techniques ironically. Within you is the glory of me. The pain you unleash, the fire out your cool of a addiction you free. I lived on earth's surface and through your eyes a vision, a mission, insist in the hands of time, keep reaching your generation. Yeah. Dry your tears when the rains and pours, in and out the clock ticking, I'ma love you the more. Your son, divine favor, preserve God through your pain and your pleasure will stick labor. Dry your tear when the rain pours, in and out the clock ticking. I'ma love you the more. Your son, divine favor, preserve God through your pain and your pleasure will stick labor. Dry your tear when the rain pours, in and out the clock ticking. I'ma love you the more. Your son, divine favor, preserve God through your pain and your pleasure with stick labor. Dry your tear when the rain pours, in and out the clock ticking. I'ma love you the more. Dear mama, dear mama, dear mama. Mama talks about people that go through several phases of depression in life, and it helps them uplift themselves so that they could get back to where they began from. Thank you. And every time that I'm bleeding, you keep my heart beating extra. Oh, sketchy second of my lifetime trying to breathe in. Your sick love fest was cured to what the doc says. Love affects love to the death of feeding relevant. Eating in between the sheets, emotion was the recipe. Take off your body language, your heart is what you really speak. Baby, is it bleeding you or is I bleeding true? Cause my heart is heading for the streets a day soon. If money could buy love, then there's bugs like the filthy trash. Bleed for your love, baby, secondary to cash. The rain was on flame, my gray skies was on fall. Gravity gun elevators and thick hate could turn to love. And all of the above within you would then applaud. In the beginning just became the end. Right from the start, it was that sick life of dope, fame, and luxury we had been together since my heart gave me feedback. But you tricked, you left me lonely. Was I right to keep along? Sundays always on the weekend, so much strength to lose me strong, so much pain to be excited from exploding to be united was like man them up, changing the climate, my mandate like an on-site. Was blind, I'm wrong, right, praying to myself that I rebelled, but I couldn't tell how sick I was for this pain with passion. It's slowly rationing, we're trying to catch a plane, my fly emotions crashing with. It's crashing with, it's crashing with. It's crashing with, yeah. So why am I bleeding? And 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 man shall not die. Man shall not cry, so why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Man shall not die, and man shall not cry, so why am I bleeding? And why am I bleeding? And man shall not die, and man shall not cry, so why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? And man shall not die, and man shall not cry. Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? In this world so cold, my feet is set on fire. whoa, whoa. From dust to reveal God, desire is burning inside. Man shall not cry, so a man should not die. So why your mom? Yeah. Why your mom? Yeah. Man shall not die, and a man shall not cry. So why your mom? Yeah. Why your mom? And why your mom? And why your mom? Why your mom? Yeah. Why your mom? Yeah. And why your mom? Yeah. And why your mom? Why your mom? Why your mom? Why your mom? Yeah. And why your mom? Yeah. And why your mom? Yeah. And why your mom? And why your mom? And why your mom? Why your mom? Yeah. So wave your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And why your mom? Yeah. Why your mom? Yeah. And why your mom? Yeah.
By the riverside, rooted, nourished. The onlooker says, I look high. My heart beats and my heart beats becomes the most prized thing. I hear secret sounds, it resounds like a gong blowing out fatigue. Like a gong blowing out fatigue, like it's a BJ. Like it's a BJ. I'm like 6 strings on the guitar. 6 strings on the guitar. 6 strings on the guitar. Team. I make melodies for the mood. And my heart blooms like the frangipani. Panning in the morn in to kiss the sunrise. While its leaves dripping dew like it is my lover's fingers around my neck. Down, down, down on my spine. A step down, she descends. Keeping calm with connect. So, keeping calm with intent. So we find a connect. Like it is Beethoven's 10th symphony. I make melodies for the mood, and my heart blooms like the frangipani, panning in the morn, in to kiss the sunrise, while its leaves dripping dew, like it is my lover's fingers around my neck. Down, 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 she descends on my spine, keeping calm with intent, so we find a connect, like it is Beethoven's 10th symphony. Like it is Beethoven's 10th symphony. Like it is Beethoven's 10th symphony. All these happening as my body's pheromones secretes fragrance like the frangipani, loosened, affected by the touch of my love. I'm in a safe haven, safe haven, safe haven. Craving, and I'm craving for more. I'm in a safe haven, safe haven, safe haven, and I'm craving for more. Down on my spine, she descends. So we find a connect, like it is Beethoven's 10th symphony. When I fall in love. For that reason, I'm going to add a piece that we did not intend to do, but I'll do it alone. That would set the note for the politics of poetry. I call this piece Crows in Parliament. I'll do it alone. This space This space, 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 this space filled with clay, with clay, with clay, with effigies, effigies, effigies. Not even for ritual. This space is not a country. Today, crows in the murder fly, coming down in a swoop like night, singing the song of subterfuge. Dig, dig, dig their talons into the labor of the fields with a white bow for tie, body forest black, eating seeds before the rain. The rains will come and go, and for sure, like the detail of the season, harvest time like the sun at noon would shoot, but corn husks would be peeled layer after layer for the embrace of a god. This space filled with clay, with effigies, 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 not even for ritual. This space is not a country. Another night, crows in the murder fly. Crows in Parliament. I see you, Maja. I was not expecting you. So this is a piece I wrote for Sudan. I hope you guys are aware of what is going on over there. So some months ago, there was a kind of peaceful revolution led by a woman, and well, the media refused to give it attention. And well, it was on Twitter and Facebook and some other social media platforms. And well, the president was ousted. He was made to step down, and we're all hoping that things would go on well and well, a good government restored. But then he had these folks who call themselves Janjaweed take over and causing mess. And as it is, Sudan. 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 Sudan, 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 Sudan. Fuck Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed. Sudan, 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 Janjaweed, Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed, 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 fuck Janjaweed. Can't we just uproot them? Janjaweed
What's janjaweed? Your silence is lethal, and your heart beats, and mine as well. And yet, you are in quiet, in denial to the happenings in Sudan. Sudan, 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 Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed. The place of the sun, its many pyramids also. For historians and archaeologists would speak many unresolved mysteries of Sudan, and yet not of its livelihood. As the world watches, looks on, as dead batteries, inefficient in pretense, as its flame is being plugged in grace by confused and overindulged minds. By confused and overindulged minds. Sudan, 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 Sudan. Some folks have pot bellies, some have it all in their heads. And yes, the skull can't contain it. So it spreads like a fever, depriving life its worth. Janjaweed. Fuck janjaweed. Why don't we plug these weeds for the African Union? What is a charter again? A mirage? Or a moon emotionally unsettled song? Sudan, 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 Janjaweed, Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed, 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 fuck Janjaweed. See, the Nile is plagued with ignorance as dead bodies are fed to it like fishes, floating till dispersed by the currents. But the Nile belches as the heavens look on. The rest of us dressed in fraudulent humanity, poking and poaching for fun, drunk and dazed in a drama we wish not to understand. Janjaweed, Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed, Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed. Sudan, 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 Janjaweed, Janjaweed, fuck Janjaweed. So yeah, Sudan. So janjaweed is, for me, I can relate it to so many other things. Like, I'm going to make this comparison. Looking at the France, before they left, they didn't really grant their colonies like independence. They had a pact that they signed, and based on that pact, whatever is produced in these colonies
or former colonies. The influence is still there. Former colonies is first of all presented to France and see if France would want to buy it. And even if France wants to buy it, France gets it, they take the price. And so this thing has been going on for all these years after independence. When these guys came and said they were going to give us what they were going to civilize us, right? They said mission civilisatrice. Is that how it is pronounced? Like they were going to civilize us, like a civilizing mission. So who is civilized and who isn't civilized? Now I can also compare this to an economic system that is known as monopsony. Back in school, we're trying to find example for this particular system, and there wasn't any example. So I thought, looking at what Sudan, what France is doing with the colonies, would fit appropriately, you know. So there were other examples for other economic systems like oligopoly, oligopolistic, monopoly, monopolistic, and all of the other things you can think of. But when it came to monopsony, there was this economic system which is political in nature that had to be set for, like, to be given as an example. And for me, it was embarrassing. And still, the influence of France still reigns all across Africa, all across, like, the French, whatever states. And recently, there was this woman who represents the AU at the US, and she kept making noise about this pact, so that the attention of the world, of people, would be, like, should get to have that attention, and then we can talk about it and get to take this thing off the necks of Africans, so these states can also develop, have their independence as it should be, because this affects interregional trade, because then there's the British influence, there's the other influence, and all of these things. So Africa still is not united as a result of these janjaweeds. Janjaweed is not just like the guys in Sudan. Janjaweed is the influence of the European on Africa. And anytime our folks try, you know, these guys come with all kinds of things, sabotages. They kill our people, our leaders. It has happened with the time, like in the times of like Patrice Lumumba, all of those guys who started like the early Pan-African movement. And you can see sabotage all across. Now there is one piece we'll be doing, and the whole band gets to join me to do that. We are human beings, and what needs to be said needs to be said. We have blood in our veins, we have blood in our veins, irrespective of the color. We have minds. We need to contribute to our development as human beings, our inner faculties. And I don't think violence or trying to manipulate one another would set the way for us. Because looking at like what we have now in terms of technology, science, like the world should not know poverty. We shouldn't know disease. But because of profits, because of the profits of capitalism, we are here struggling and suffering, irrespective of the resources we have. Look at Ghana alone, has gold, diamond, bauxite, oil, manganese, salt, limestone. The list goes on and on and on and on. And still, look at us. Our leaders have been toying with us. Janja weeks. Fuck them. Are you sure? Are you sure you're ready? White man, white crow, red crow. There is no way, no single way you would be able to erase the black man from the surface of the earth. Because the moment you do succeed at that, you'll be there. You'll be in total annihilation. Why hate yourself this much? You'd cause this much havoc, all to stay relevant instead of being truly embodied. Do not miss the point of your existence. White crow, red crow, the Negro, the Negro, the Negro, the one you call black, the one you call black, the one you call black is everywhere. White crow, red crow. White man, white crow, red crow.
There is no way, no single way you will be able to erase the black man from the surface of the earth, because the moment you do succeed at that, you'd be dead. You'd be in total annihilation. Why hate yourself this much? You'd cause this much havoc all to stay relevant instead of being truly embodied. Why hate yourself this much? You'd cause this much havoc all to stay relevant instead of being truly embodied. Do not miss the point of your existence. White crow, red crow, the Negro, the one you call black, is everywhere. White man, white crow, red crow. There is no way, no single way you'll be able to erase the black man from the surface of the earth, because the second you do succeed at that, you'd be dead. You'd be in total annihilation. Why hate yourself this much? You'd cause this much havoc all to stay relevant instead of being truly embodied. Do not miss the point of your existence. White crow, red crow, the Negro, the one you call black, is everywhere. I have copies of my book there. That is very soft in a very different way. It's very soft. It's going to reach you in a very different way instead of like the voice you are hearing. A purple poem? Oh God. Do you guys know what a purple poem is? Really? Oh, you don't want the session to end, so you want the purple poem. I'll read you a purple poem then. Can you guys take it? It's a mature audience, right? We are all beyond 18. You guys have been having fun. Mothers, fathers, folks married, some not married but enjoying themselves. Sex. 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 Let me hear you say sex. Sex. Say it like you've been doing it. This is something like in Ghana we don't really get to talk about, but we all do it. Ghana people then they like pretend. Wow, me my eye no day for pretend so. Sex. Say sex. Mr. Adam, say sex. Joe, sex. 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 Them say some curriculum day where they bring us, they call them CSE, where they can give us more sex education. Maybe the kiddies. Sex. Sacred exchange of energy. Sex. Body endowments make contact. Touching, kissing, licking. Goals of passion, blazing for release. Sex. Minds locked for the exploration of desire. Knocking on the banks of passion, pennies, rabs to penetrate. Tingles of mental anticipation. A dream carefully crafted. Sex. Minds swim in the fountain of desire. Bodies taking stands. Bodies taking stands. All the poses where you guys do, I do, that be the stands. Minds swim in the fountain of desire. Bodies taking stands. A charged moment. Sex. Determining factors being love or lust. Heads burning with redness. I'm a man, so I'll speak for myself. Hard pains, sways wet vagina. Bodies rocking in shivering excitement. Intensity builds refined shadows. Bodies beating to rhythm. Sex. 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 Why are you shy? Sex. Sex.
Atupa.
Atupa. Atupa. Atupa.
Sex.
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 Sex. Sex.
Sex.
I beg, make that guy talk again. That guy, make it talk again.
Sex.
Thank you very much.
Sex.
Sex. Sex.
Mommy, don't be shy. Mommy, don't be shy.
Sex.
Thank you very much.
Sex.
Thank you. Maja, you know talk amo. I know here. Give him.
Sex.
Thank you. Hitting seeds of treasure, couple engulfed in the sea of pleasure. Animal instincts explores divinity's mysteries. Bodies sing innovative initiations. Mastered artistry explores the essence of geometric facts. Attention is highly engaged. Sex. The interplay of balance. The discipline of virtue and the dose of angelic vice. Places of engagement reveals adventure to the senses. Sex. Pleasure feels nerves for birth, repairing and healing, dissolving inner scars. Sex. Pleasure feels nerves, repairing and healing, dissolving inner scars. Sex. An act lengthened in dynamisms, character paddling for the eternity of an enacted journey. Sex. Its essence a secret initiation, yet its mystery eludes like fantasy. When peaked orgasm is reached, the journey has just begun. Sex. Its essence a secret initiation, yet its mysteries eludes like fantasy. When peaked orgasm is reached, the journey has just begun. The journey has just begun. Wow. Thank you guys for holding us down. The artist can create, can write, can do whatever, but without an audience, his value wouldn't be noticed. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing that moment with us. Thank you for creating with us. Thank you so much. You can find copies of my book at the Vidya Bookshop, the Purple Hamatan Poetry Anthology, and the Shop Accra. Or you can get in touch with me directly for your copies. I have copies of my first book also, Hearts Poised. Then you can see and tell how I started writing and how far I've come if you compare it to what I have now. So it's been a good evening. Thank you for coming. You can follow me on the social media, Instagram, Twitter as a God of Poetry, but on Facebook as Elikli Macaulay. The same for Paul God. Paul God.
The Real Paul God, Twitter and IG, and YouTube Paul God, SoundCloud Paul God. Thank you.
So we are here. You can follow us. You can get in touch with us for more interaction, so we can go create and impact the world positively. Thank you. Thank you to the Goethe Institute for having us. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Wow, it's with your voice. Sing something. Say something. Just with your voice.
movie score. It sounds like a movie score for me. Dixon.
Andy, let's have a film.
For B. Yeah.
Andy,
Yeah.
thank you. My guy Clement. Clement don't want to talk anything. Clement is like our biggest hype man. I bet make you guys give out something, some big clap. Our biggest hype man. When nobody did for us, he alone did for us. One man supporter, he did for us. So I bet you guys.
Why your mom? Why your mom? Why your mom?
Why am I bleeding? Why am I?
Man shall not die. Man shall not cry. So why your mom bleeding? Why your mom bleeding?
Why am I?
Man shall not cry. Man shall not die.
Yeah.
Why your mom bleeding?
Why am I bleeding?
Why your mom bleeding?
Why am I?
So why your mom bleeding?
In this world so cold. Go ahead.
Yo, and every time that I'm bleeding, you keep my heart beating extra O's. Catch a second of my lifetime trying to breathe in. Your sick love is what's cured the what the doc says. Love affects love to the death of being irrelevant. Eating in between the sheets, emotion was the recipe. Take off your body language, your heart is what you really speak. Baby, is it bleeding you or is I bleeding true? Cause my heart is headed for the streets and they assume if money goodbye love. Then it's bounce like the flipping trash. Bleed for your love, baby, secondary to cash. The rain will soon flame, my gray skies will soon fall. Gravity gun elevators and think hate could turn to love. And all of the above within you would then applaud at the beginning. Just became the end right from the start. It was that sick life of dope, fame and luxury we had been together since my heart began to beat back. But you tricked, you left me lonely. Was it right to keep along? Sundays always on the weekend, so much strength to lose me strong, so much pain to be excited from exploding to be united. Words like man them up, changing the climate, my mandate like an on-site. Looks blind, I'm wrong, right? Praying to myself that I rebel, but I couldn't tell how sick it was for this pain with passion. It's slowly rationing, we're trying to catch a plane, my fly motion crashing with.
A man shall not cry. A man shall not die. Yeah. So why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding?
Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Why am I? Why am I? Why am I? Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding?
Why am I bleeding? Why am I?
Why am I?
Why am I? Why am I bleeding? A man shall not cry. A man shall not die. Why am I? 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 Why am I bleeding? The man shall not cry. The man shall not die. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Thank you.